Yeah, right. Well, how long have we had so far?
You take half an hour, maybe more, 40 minutes.
Half an hour, 40 minutes. Oh, maybe not too bad. Okay, so part two. What are we doing here? So part two, this is where it gets fun. So all we've actually managed to do is we implement something you all knew anyway, right? But hopefully I've shown you that we've managed to represent it slightly differently. So all we've used so far is this idea of a function that returns a function that returns either a value or the fact that there are no more values. Okay? So let's just reiterate that now. We said a func, get me something that returns something I can call get on time and time again, and it's going to return a notification of voila. So get me something from which I can get more values. What is the opposite of get? Put, give, whatever. How can we encode that in delimits? What is the setter equivalent where func of t is get? What is the set equivalent?
Should we pass it somehow?
Yeah. How do you pass things? You're saying do something to it, right?
Yeah.
I'm sure. Pardon? Thank you. Action. So we're going to say, here's something. Into that thing, push more stuff. So that sounds like another set, right? So actually, all we're going to do is go from func of notification to action of notification. T. Believe it or not, we've just gone from I enumerable to I observable. Let's just tee this stuff up so that we're running the right demos. So we can come back to the old faithful range in order to prove this out. So I'm just going to do quick implementation of range, public, static, that guy, yes, range in, start, in, count, quick glance at the notes. Okay, you don't actually have to write it like this, but it does help. This is our observable, right? And what are we going to do to the observable? It's the opposite of getting the enumerator. We're going to push something in, right? What's the sort of the opposite of, the opposite of the enumerator? In this case, it's the observable. So enumerable, get me the enumerator, observable, push me an observer, right? So this method is going to take an observer, and I do apologise if you find this function notation a little bit awkward. In the last part, you'll be glad to know it gets simpler because we're going to go back to interfaces again. But this is just really to prove out the duality of the two concepts. Observable. So once we've got this observer, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to start at start. No, let's just say I count. Oops, that makes no sense. We're going to push something to him. Count number of times, if you like. So the observer, here you go. When you're still below count, we're going to give you a notification next of I plus start. And once we've done that count number of times, we're going to give you another notification to say that we're done. And in this case, it's in. So, you know what? Actually, we can write it like that, which I think is quite clear. We could also just write this, but I think we lose some clarity. I may well switch between the two while I'm talking, but trust me, they're semantically equivalent. It's just that here we get to state that this guy is the observable, and into the observable we're going to pass this observer. So I think it sort of makes it a little bit clearer. Okay, so next thing we're going to do is we're going to